Did you actually throw out my donut? You can microwave it. He threw out my donut.
They say Mike's about to blow though. Tell me something that I don't know. With the crowd bouncing like pogos, you can come on the tour bus, just please no photos. Fuck the Alex Homos, cause we be going off on the they don't know. Or maybe they starting to, cause I work so hard that it's hard to lose. Top spot I'm taking.
Welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm not gonna lie, I'm in a severe funk with YouTube right now. I just don't know exactly what content I want to be making. I am loving Instagram, I am just going crazy with content over there, but I just feel like on YouTube I am struggling, and I think it's a mixture of this can't do too much with the whole situation that's going on in the world. The weather's been horrendous lately, and yeah, there's just a big mix of stuff. So that's annoying that you can see that that's under there. I've like propped the camera up. So pretty much today it's lunchtime. Hold on. It's lunchtime, I'm having a smoothie, and I am making burgers tonight. And I'm going to do a kind of copycat of the By Chloe burger, which if you haven't had that before, it's like a black bean burger. It's got like sweet corn. Does it have sweet corn in it? It might not have sweet corn in it, but it's got like avocado, it's got this like aioli sauce. It's so good, and I really want that for my dinner, but we don't have By Chloe in Scotland, so I am going to try and make one. And with the theme of that, I'm going to have a chat about cheat meals and all that kind of vibe, because I get questions about it all the time, like how do you eat junk food and like have abs, and oh my god, I just burped. I'll tell you how, because your husband throws your donuts in the bin. I threw the donut in the bin, by the way, because it's actually stale. So that's why it's in the bin, because it's off. I would have just microwaved it, but apparently it was like a brick, so there was a 4-pack, so there's only one left. What I was going to say, there were the donuts from last week's video. I think I put donuts in last week's video. What am I talking about? I actually bought donuts for the video last week, the vegan taste test one, and I forgot to put them in the video, so there's that. But yes, I am just having my lunch just now, and I am going to be training push today, so I'm going to take you along to that as well. Even though like the garage, I love training in that garage right now, and I'm so thankful that we have that set up during what is going on in the world right now, since the gyms in Scotland are still closed. I know a lot of them down south are open, but the ones in Scotland are still closed. But it's just very difficult to actually get decent content in there because it's really ugly. It's just ugly, it's not aesthetic whatsoever, so there's that. But I've spent this whole morning doing like laptop based work. It is now 2:30, and I wanted to make a start on the YouTube video, so I want to talk about cheat meals, do a bit of a day in the life, and that is Wednesday. So one thing actually with lockdown that I have noticed a lot of people are doing, by the way, can you hear this? My screen's broke on my camera and it keeps falling, but a lot of people obviously are doing more activities, especially outdoor activities, because the lockdown situation in Scotland is, we're getting out of it, we're slowly getting there. But obviously people can go out and climb hills and all this kind of stuff, and that seems to be the thing that most people are doing, is climbing hills, because what else do we have in Scotland? But mine has actually been rollerblading. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen my attempts at rollerblading. They are shocking. I can go like basic rollerblade about, no problem, couple of trips here and there, as in like tripping up, but in terms of actual skill, none whatsoever. So I decided to actually buy roller skates, so the kind of the quad ones, the 2 at the front, 2 in the back wheels, rather than the 4 in a row. And I am so excited. I couldn't find, number one, a size 5 pair of roller skates anywhere on the internet for the past 2 months, because I feel like maybe everyone's just taken up some kind of other activity, but for me rollerblading is the one. So they're going to arrive soon. I actually thought they were going to arrive today, and I thought that's going to be the best day ever, but they haven't. But it's also raining outside, and I'm thinking, do I go rollerblading in the rain? It's also hair wash day, so we probably will go rollerblading later on. Do you know what? We are, and I'm going to show you my skills because they don't exist. So I actually asked on Instagram the other day about like for questions that weren't just related to health and fitness, just something a bit more exciting, because I feel like The health and fitness ones are a bit like repetitive and I've answered them before. However, the cheat meals one was it wasn't even just about cheat meals, it was people asking like how do you eat junk food and how do you incorporate it, like achieve balance, all that kind of thing. So that's kind of what made me want to make this video. Oh my god, are you okay? That's what made me want to make this video, but I thought I'd answer the rest of the questions as well. I'm doing it on an IGTV, but I thought that we'll do it here as well. So these are just random questions. So favourite girl crush, I think it's Miley Cyrus, but looks alone, I think it's Megan Fox. And that's what the predicament is right now, because I'm getting my hair done for the first time next week and goodness knows how long, obviously with lockdown and things. And I'm thinking, like my sister's just dyed her hair really dark. Like she is naturally really dark brown and my hair is naturally quite light brown. So I lightened my hair. And she also lightened her hair, but she actually then just went back to having it really dark and she looks so good. And I was like, damn it, now I want dark hair? But I like putting lighter colour in my hair because I can keep my natural colour and then just like add bits of blonde to it just to lighten it up. And I think if I went dark, then I'd have to dye my whole head and I don't want to do that. So I've answered one question. I'm not going to dye my hair dark. Do you prefer clothes shopping online or in store? Online. I hate shopping. I like physically cannot stand going shopping unless it's food shopping. That's a good one. Do you prefer to eat in only vegan restaurants or any restaurants that have vegan options? Honestly, both. Like I don't have a preference. I do find obviously the vegan restaurants have a wider variety of stuff and you normally get like I was about to say breakfast, lunch and dinner, but like starter, main course and dessert, whereas like a lot of restaurants that aren't like completely vegan maybe don't have a vegan dessert or a sorbet or like something like that. That was the most dramatic eye roll of my existence. So really either or, I don't really have a preference. I think if it's just like Marco and I or my sister and I, then I've had that, no, it doesn't matter, because it's good when if you're out with people that aren't vegan, obviously you go to restaurants that do both, but I don't really have a preference. Excluding Dubai, where is the coolest place you've been? Do you know, it depends what you class as coolest, because I loved Asia, I loved Thailand, and do you know, I really did enjoy Bali, but I probably wouldn't go back just because of the Bali experience, and I know that it happens to most people, and just I can't live through that again. Like literally shitting yourself is not acceptable. If you want to hear that story, I'm sure you can hear it on TikTok. Thailand, I love Thailand, but I also love America, so I very much love LA, and I love Orlando, and I love New York. So probably between America and Asia. One of the questions is, where is Marco in your vlogs? People always ask why you're not in my videos anymore. What? People always ask why you're not in my videos anymore. Oh, we're both sitting in one chair, it's not going to work. You don't really like kit videos, do you?
Yeah.
Marco actually doesn't really like my videos anymore, and it's really just because he's not here. Well, he's here in my life. Oh my god, that sounded really bad. But I mean, like I normally film my videos during the day. He's at work, he has his career, I have mine, so he's never really here. And also it can just get so awkward that it takes us 25 million times longer to like film one part of a video, and he's not that fussed about being in them. He's really not. I normally had to force him to be in them, so that's it. It's just not really his thing at all. If you had to get a tattoo, what would you get? So I do like tattoos. I like tattoos that have meaning, and I think there's a lot of people that suit tattoos, and I think there's a lot of people that don't. I don't think I'd suit tattoos. Maybe something really teeny tiny, and it would be like hidden somewhere, but I can't imagine I have like not a sleeve or something like that. That's just not me. But if I was to get a tattoo, it would need to have meaning, and it would need to be tiny. Because I change my mind so much as well, so that's why I don't really go that crazy with my hair, and always do, like, if I've had pink hair or purple hair, it's always been temporary, because I change my mind so badly. I think it's a Libra thing, I'm not entirely sure. Let me just move this around here like this. I've also got sun cream on today, and it's cloudy outside. We're not going to go there. What's on your bucket list? Now, I love bucket lists. I had to hiccup / burp. That's kind of a mixture of the two. I love bucket lists. I've always written bucket lists. I have one on my laptop that is full of really generic things, you know, like skydiving and all that kind of stuff. But I do actually like to write it out, and then I just like to tick it off just to see what you've actually done, and I always put the date next to it. And I think I actually only put the year next to it though, like if it's 2018, 19, 20, because I think that's a good way to look back and see like what kind of adventurous things you've done in the year out with your normal life. And I think it's very easy to just go through a whole year of just doing the same old stuff and not doing anything like exciting or like kind of bucket list material. So I have all the obvious things on there, you know, like all the obvious things, all the travel places, all the like crazy extreme sports like skydiving and what else is there, bungee jumping, all that kind of stuff. I also have like personal goals on there, which I suppose isn't really a bucket list, but it kind of is because it's like personal things I want to like do and achieve. I actually love this question. Would you pose for Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition? Number one, the fact that you even think that I could be on that magazine. Of course, if Sports Illustrated came to me and were like, we want you on our magazine, I would be on that magazine. Don't even get me wrong. I would don't even doubt it for a second. I would be in whatever bikini they wanted me in, and I would be on that front cover. I like Sports Illustrated. In fact, not gonna lie, I've never read the magazine, but I've seen obviously the photos that they take of all these Victoria's Secret models in their bikinis. You know, if they came to me and asked if they wanted me, I would do that. Your parents are so cute. Did you get your personality from your mum or your dad? So I actually posted, I was in St Andrews last week with my mum and dad, and they carry on a lot. You know, they're very cute. They are very cute. They've been married for like 35 years and they're just great. They're actually like goals and what you want your marriage to be like. But they were carrying on and I kept videoing them. They're like pushing each other down a hill and all this kind of stuff. So that's probably where that question came from. Do I get my personality from my mum or my dad? I don't actually know. I think it might be a mixture of both. I get my kind of, this isn't personality, but I get my sweet tooth from my dad. I definitely get my work ethic from my dad. My mum's obviously a good worker as well, but I just mean like that kind of, the way I work is probably similar to my dad. Probably mindset similar to my dad, but I would say, what would I get from my mum? I feel like my mum's quite like me in terms of like, she's not fussed by much or fazed by much. She's very just kind of, she doesn't attach a lot of emotions to things either. So I don't know, I'm probably a mixture of both. Probably slightly more my dad. Marco's off this week, by the way, if you can hear him shouting on the PlayStation. Oh, deep one. How would you like to be remembered? I would like to be remembered as being a very positive person. Obviously, I have non-positive days. I'm not going to call them negative, I'm calling them non-positive. But I very much would like to be just remembered as like a happy, positive person that always did what they wanted with their life. That's what I would like to be. What's the first place you want to travel to after the coronavirus? Well, I'm actually planning on going to Austria for a work trip. I can't tell you any more details than that, but it's supposed to be relatively soon. And I'm very excited about that because I've never been to Austria. So, do you have any regrets? Do you know what? I've answered this before, and no. Sure, there's things that I'm like, probably wasn't my best idea, or maybe shouldn't have done that, but I like to think that everything happens for a reason. Everything in life happens for a reason. Everything. And things make you into the person you are today, and all that kind of stuff. I very much believe all of that. And I also, like, even with like behaviours, for example, like I feel like even if it's something you wouldn't do now, but you maybe did it 5 years ago, like you can't regret it now because it might have been the case that at that time that's something you actually wanted or what you wanted to do. So you can't regret it because at some point it's what you actually wanted. Don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so the cheat meals, the reason we're all here for the video, I don't believe in cheat meals, and I'll tell you why. So I believe that you just need to, and this is easier said than done obviously, is finding your balance, finding what works for you with food and what that balance looks like to you. Some people can get away with just eating healthy food every single day and maybe once a week having a pizza. that might be the way it works for you. It doesn't work for me. I very much eat I eat the same food very regularly, okay? I tend to have porridge every day, smoothies at lunch, tofu, rice and veg with some kind of new twist on it, whether it's Thai green curry, whether it's like teriyaki sauce, like I don't know, or making it into like fried rice, or putting that kind of in burritos. Like I kind of do stick to the same food. So out with that, anything else I have does probably tend to be something that's not healthy. So I eat pick and mix sweets because I'm obsessed with those vegan all sorts, and there's 2 bags of them in my house. There's one up the stairs and there's one down the stairs, and every time you walk by it's just a case of like, I'll have a few of them. If we go out for dinner, it's not something I think in advance and like plan in advance and change all my other food around it, and like it has to be a certain day of the week or anything like that. Like if I just decide right now it's the 3:30 in the day, Marco, let's go out for dinner tonight, that's it. And I don't think, oh, like what's the healthiest option? I just have what I want, and that's that. And other than that, you know, like it's the same with dessert. I don't ever necessarily plan to have dessert, but I always have desserts in my house. I have ice creams, I have magnums, I have all kinds of chocolates, I have the pick and mixies. Obviously if there's things in supermarkets that are new and I see and I think, oh, I'm gonna have that, like that's different, but I normally always have some kind of dessert or junky food to sweet food thing in my house, and if I feel like it then I know it's there. So I probably do have things like every other day now, whether it's like one magnum or whether it's like a handful of chocolate buttons, a handful of pick and mix. It's just whatever like I want to have. Like sometimes after dinner I literally just want a handful of like 5 or 6 chocolate buttons, and that's it. Like there's no more thought about it. Now I never used to be like that. I used to be like ate very specifically and like had more like scheduled days out for like cheat meals and that kind of thing, but that doesn't work for me. It personally doesn't work for me, and it's far too much diet culture, it's far too much restriction and like overthinking about food, and it's not balanced and it's not intuitive, and you know, that's just not the way I want to be. So as much as I love going to restaurants and having a burger, I'm going to make a burger tonight, homemade, because like I said, I want to do the by Chloe one, and I will of course make that with like healthy whole food ingredients, but most of it will be healthy, but then I might put like mayonnaise on top of it, or you know, I don't know, there might be something in it that's not like 100% healthy, and I'll have chips with it, but they'll be like frozen chips because I can't be bothered making chips like from scratch. And that's just my attitude towards food, and I feel like the past like probably 2 years, maybe longer than that, 2.5 years, 3 years, I don't even know how long, has been where I have been like the best with my food. I've just been the most consistent in terms of I know exactly how to maintain my weight, I know how to adapt my food if I want to put on or lose, like bulk and cut, anything like that. But for me to maintain the lifestyle and the shape and the training that I do, I know exactly how to eat for me, and it comes from it obviously like trial and error. There's a lot of things I've done in the past that haven't worked, but that's just my view on cheat meals. I just feel like you just got to eat healthily, and then when you just decide, you know what, I want a magnum, then you have a magnum, and that is it. So after I train, I am going to make the burger, and I will show you how I do it. So the burger recipe you can find on my blog at naturallystephanie.com. All the ingredients are on there. I'll also paste it into the description box below, and then the next clips I will show you how I assembled the burger. I used red pepper hummus, I used smashed avocado, and also Sriracha mayo.